Hello everyone, welcome back to TechnoGATE. So in last classes we studied about the basics of animal kingdom, and in today's lecture we will be continuing that topic only. So in last class I think we left on your classification part, and we started with the vertebrata. And in vertebrata we studied the classification like fishes, chondrocytes, osteocytes, cyclostomata, amphibia, reptile, all these things. We just gone through the basics, right, introductory part. So in today's lecture we will be continuing that part, and we will be covering one very important class in your animal kingdom, and that class is ostracoderm and cyclostomata. Okay, so this falls under your categories of agnatha. Okay, so in agnatha we divided the whole vertebrata class into two parts. One was agnatha, second was gnatostomata. Agnathas were those organisms who were having not having the jaw. Okay, so in agnatha there were two parts. One was your ostracoderm and the second one was cyclostomata. Then in gnatostomata we will study your osteocytes and chondrocytes, so we will cover that part. Okay, so let's just start with this. So in agnatha, superclass was agnatha. Agnatha means A means not present or absent. Agnatha means the jaw. True jaw is absent. Okay, that's why they are named so. In agnatha there was two classes. There were two classes basically. There were two classes, and the first class, write down the class 1 here. Class 1, that is ostracoderm. Class 1 is ostracoderm. So is it clear from where we have started? So just go through the previous lecture, then go through this lecture. So during classification of vertebrates, we divide the whole vertebrate world into two parts. One is agnatha, second is gnatostomata. Let's quickly revise it, okay? Then we will come back. So come here everyone. Understand the basics first of all, last class. Let's revise it. Vertebrates are divided into two classes, agnatha and gnatostomata. Okay, these are the old things which we have already studied. We're just revising them quickly. Agnatha and gnatostomata are divided into two classes on the basis of what? On the basis of presence, absence. Presence or absence of true jaw. Okay, that's why there are two classes. So agnatha means what? If you will go through this word agnatha, A means lacking. Okay, wherever you will add this A term, anti term, and in these words will add negative meaning to that word. Okay, negative sense. So lacking jaw, they are agnatha. So in agnatha there were two classes further. There were two further classes, ostracoderm and cyclostomata. So these were the two classes. So we will cover both of these one by one, then we will move to the gnatostomata. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, now so let's move to the previous slide, the real one. So ostracoderms are what? Write down, start writing the points, their characteristic features. These are vertebrates. Second part, these are vertebrates. Second point, these are lacking true jaw. Is it clear? Now write down the next point. The most important part and the very interesting and alarming part is these are the extincted organisms. These are extinct. They are no more existing in the universe. They exist at some point of time, but right now they are extinct. Okay, so write down, these are extinct species. Okay, these are extinct organisms. Now write down most of them were marine. At the time when they were existing, they were mostly marine. Write down the next point. These organisms have two semicircular rings, or you can say canals also, canals in their internal ear. Now just make it not canal, just make it rings. Okay, two semicircular rings, because it will be more relatable. Canal is also same thing, okay, in their internal ear. Now write down the next point. Their body is streamlined. They are straight, just like the fishes. They are almost like fishes. We will make the diagram also. Their body is streamlined. The only difference they were having is the absence of jaw. Second part, they were having hard scales over their body. The gnathostomata are having soft scales, but the cyclostome and ostracoderms, like your Agnatha superclass, it was having hard scales over their body for protection. Okay, so write down the body is streamlined, elongated, and were having hard scales all over it to protect the organism. Now just write down a few examples. Cephalaspis, okay, because only few organisms were under this class, so write down Cephalaspis. Don't forget to underline it. And Cephalaspis. So write down just one example. In most of the books you will not find them in this class. Why? Because they are extincted, so few books don't include them. But it is always better to cover the things which are there in the syllabus, whether they are going to be asked or not. But you must be having some clear idea in your mind that apart from cyclostomata, there were one more class, right? There was one more class, and the class was ostracoderm. And why it is not discussed in many books? Because they are extinct. Okay, so few books discuss about them, and a few books don't count them in the class. They just count one class, that is cyclostomata, the next one. Okay, but you are now having the idea about both the classes. Now make the next one. And write down the heading cyclostomata. Write down the heading cyclostomata. On the next page, write down the class second. Okay, write down the heading cyclostomata. So I was just checking whether you need to draw the diagram or not for the ostracoderm, but it was not discussed in any book, and no as such clear-cut framework is known for these organisms. Okay, that's why we are avoiding it. Now write down the next part, cyclostomata. In cyclostomata, write down, yeah, start writing everyone. These are also under which superclass? They are under Agnatha. Okay, so write down, these are living or existing members of Agnatha. They lack true jaw, most of these members are marine and found free floating. Okay, they keep on floating on the water, right? Most of these members are marine and found free floating. Now understand very important point, everyone. If I am saying that they are marine, it means one point is already very clear, that they are aquatic. So we don't have to mention the base point. If someone is saying that I study in 11th standard, it is obvious now that you are a student. Okay, so few meanings are already hidden behind the words. So for example, if I will say I teach biology, it obviously means that I am a teacher. So I don't have to mention that point again and again. Okay, similarly, if we are saying, we are mentioning that they are marine, it means they reside in sea water, salt water. So it is obviously clear, it is obviously mentioned that they are aquatic, they live in water only. That's why salt water, right? Water will not be on the land, nah? It will be land itself, it will be terrestrial. So we are not mentioning aquatic, but it is very clear from the word marine. I hope it is clear? Okay, good. And if someone is saying that these are the members of Agnatha, this is the class under Agnatha, it is obviously very clear that they are lacking the jaw. So sometimes we don't have to mention the point again and again, although I mentioned it, so that it becomes more clear to you for now. But from later on, like, you must have some idea, basic idea, that if it is mentioned, that this point is already hidden behind it. Okay, so be very active and apply your IQ, little bit IQ. It will increase your accuracy and speed. Okay, chalo, good. So now most of these members are marine and found free floating in water. Now write down the next one. Write down, very important point. These organisms are parasites or scavengers. What are scavengers? Those organisms who eat up on dead organisms. And what is parasite? Parasite is that organism who reside in the body of the host and absorb its nutrient, just like the coronavirus. It will enter inside our body and it will keep on absorbing or utilizing our nutrient for its own growth. So it is parasite. If some organism is dead, like if any animal is dead and it was thrown in the, like, buried in the forest or somewhere, there will be some bacteria, there will be fungus which will be developing over it, and it will be absorbing the nutrients from the dead organism. That is scavenger. Now these organisms are parasites or scavenger. Write down, their mouth part are specially developed for this function. Which function? their mouth parts are specially developed for this function, like they are having circular oral structures. Okay, they are having their mouth developed as circular oral structure, which helps in attachment and sucking the nutrients. Nutrients from host organisms. Is it clear? We will make the diagram for this because they are existing one. Write down their body is elongated, streamlined. Their body is elongated, streamlined, and having what are the characters present? First feature, very important one, that is the presence of pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, so there will be presence of somewhere 8 to 14. Okay, so write down or make it around 6 to 8 pairs, because total number will be that only, right? Pairs of gill slits. Write down the second point, they are having 3 eyes. It means how the 3 eyes are present? 2 are present laterally, one is pineal median. So one pineal median eye and 2 lateral eyes are present. Is it clear? Now write down the next point, everyone. Similarly, 2 to 3 semicircular canals are present in the ear. 2 to 3 semicircular rings are present in internal ear. Just pause the video and note it down. Okay, keep writing. Third point is this now. Write down the fourth point. Okay, now very strange feature and unique and interesting is the presence of single nostril, only one nostril. Like we are having 2 nostrils, cyclostomata is having single nostril. So write down single nostril is present. Clear? So I think these are the basic features. Now write down the next point, everyone, that is related to the digestive system. Okay, so you noted this point, their body is elongated, streamlined and having these features. Now write down the next point, fresh point, that digestive system is without what? Stomach. So there will be no stomach present in cyclostomata. Without stomach, intestine is well developed. And it's named also, some special name is given. Typhosole is well developed. Spiral structure. Known as typhosole. Now write down the next point. Notochord and vertebral column. Are present. Now the vertebral column will be there, but it will be cartilaginous only, okay? It will not be formed of bones or likewise, because they are less developed. So notochord and vertebral columns are present. Write down next point. Notochord. In fact, vertebral column, not notochord. Na? Write down the next point. Write down here. Vertebral column is made up of cartilage. So what you can understand from this point, that cartilage, okay, now let's quickly understand a basic little concept. Cartilage, bones and your blood, lymph, this falls under the category of one special type of tissue which we are going to study after this classification in the very next series. These are known as tissues, and bones, cartilage, then your blood, lymph, these are known as connective tissues. So you can understand one point, that bone and cartilage both are a little bit tough kind of structure. Means they provide structure or shape to your body. They provide the framework. But cartilage is softer, less strong, fragile, flexible structure as compared to bone, where you can observe the cartilage like this is the bone in my hand. These are the bones, phalanges, right? Carpus, metacarpus, are the bones, right? Similarly in your legs, then your ribs, vertebral columns are the bones. Then the cranium part, like skull, these are the bones. Now, where you can observe the cartilage is present in your ear, external ear. This part is cartilage. It is neither skin nor bone, something in between structure. Not that much soft as our skin and not that much tough as our bones. So something in between. This is cartilage, just like your nose. So these are the cartilage structure. So what I wanted to convey was, although the bones and cartilage both are present in our body at this moment, both are present in all the organisms somewhere in the body parts, but if you want to understand them from evolution point of view, that from where they originated and which part, which member, which one out of cartilage and bones, which was originated first in the evolution, in the history. So your answer will be cartilage. Bones were developed later on in the evolution. Initially it was cartilage which was observed. Cartilage was the first tough structure observed in the evolutionary history. Later on bones were originated. So cartilage is more old, or cartilage is older, evolutionary older as compared to bones. Is it clear? So first time when the strength was observed in this cyclostomata, that means the conversion, the formation of vertebral column. Yes, vertebral column was there, but it was not same as our vertebral column. Why? Because our vertebral column is made up of bones, while the vertebral column of cyclostomata was made up of cartilage. So although they are functionally similar, Vertebral column will be vertebral column only. It will be performing the same function just like in our body, protecting the spinal cord, nerve cord, providing the framework to our body, shape to our body. But its structure, its basic anatomy, means what it is made up of, it was different. In cyclostomata, it was made up of cartilage, not bones. Okay, so evolution was happening continuously, and it is happening at this moment of time as well. So vertebral column is made up of cartilage. Note down, the bones were absent. Clear? There were no bones. Now write down the next point about heart. Heart was, or heart is two-chambered. Heart is two-chambered and present ventrally. What is our ventral side? Where our heart is located? It is ventral or dorsal? Answer me everyone. Is it ventral or dorsal? Ventral, okay. Now write down the next point. It is about your fins, so note it down quickly. Okay, we will make special lecture on this part as well. Type of fins. Okay, what are the different name for fins used? Okay, what are pectoral fins, pelvic fins, paired fins? We will study about them. Tail fins. So write down for now. We will study it in the next part. So write down, paired fins are absent. Paired fins are absent. Apart from paired fins, median or tail fin are present. Okay, median or tail fins are present. Now write down a very important point. In circulatory system we have not added now. Yeah, write down here only, or write down in the next part. Write down the circulatory system. You noted about heart, but not circulatory. So circulatory system is closed type. Closed type. Next point is, these organisms are having one very special feature. They are having one very special feature, and the feature is of migration. Okay, the organisms show migration. These organisms may show migration. For spawning.